Hey guys, we are back and at it on our YouTube, and today I am making homemade protein bars from scratch, and they are delicious. Like and subscribe, and we will list the ingredients below. We are homesteading for the health of it, and thanks for joining us. First off, I used this handy hand chopper here, and I put 2 bananas in the bowl. I am doubling this recipe. Make sure the bananas have a nice wet consistency because this is our wet ingredient. Next, I'm going to be adding 3 cups of oats. Quick oats is what I normally use, and mix that in there. I then grab some whey protein. You can use any whey protein powder. I prefer the grass-fed, and you can do any flavor you like. I add 2 cups of that with some raw organic pumpkin seeds, but you could use chia seeds too if you want. I then take some Ghirardelli dark chocolate chips, put them in there with some homemade peanut butter, about 1.5 cups of that. My husband made this and it is delicious. I cannot wait to add that in there. It gives the bars a nice creamy texture and the peanut taste is incredible. This also helps with another wet ingredient, mixing all the dry stuff up. So I scrape that off and make sure you get all of it. Next, I like to use some honey, and hopefully soon we'll have our honey from our own bees. But I like to use probably a little bit more than 1/2 cup of the honey, just because if you use too much, it'll be sticky and you don't want that, and it'll be all over your hands. This is the process that I am not a fan of. I'm using a little spoon and it's not working, so let me get a big one. There we go, the mama spoon. Like I said, the mixing of it, you really want to make sure you get it all mixed up well. It's going to make a mess, just be prepared for that and don't stress out about it. I kind of find this this mixing process, it helps with my ADD and just kind of keeps me focused. Once I use the mama spoon for a little bit, at some point I will be getting frustrated and I will be putting my hands in this mixture just like I do with my meatballs, and here we go. This tends to really get everything put together and mixed together, the chocolate chips, the pumpkin seeds, and I get to scrape all that dried oatmeal off the side. All right, this is my 9x9 pan. I love this pan. I just dump all the ingredients in. I truly squish the mixture down as hard as I can into the pan, spread it all out evenly and as equally as possible. Use my fingers getting in there, dig, 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 and now we are grabbing the rest of these yummy chocolate chips. I tried to grab 72% or higher dark chocolate, and we're going to put them in a double boiler, which is just a saucepan with water and a Pyrex bowl. And I put the chips in there and put the temperature on, or the heat on high, and watch those melt. Here we go. It can take a little bit, but we're patient right now. The melted chocolate idea actually came from my husband. I never used to put chocolate on top of them, and he is a chocolate fanatic, so he suggested melting some chocolate on top, and let me tell you, is one of his best ideas ever. Oh, look at that. That is delicious. What I like about dark chocolate too is it's not super sweet. It's got that nice cacao taste to it. So please be careful on this part because that water is super hot, and we're going to actually use that water in a little bit, and I'll show you how. Take your little spatula there if you have one, and if it helps to scrape the chocolate out of the bowl, I would suggest that. Just hold the bowl really, really tight. I have been known to burn my fingers on this before, and I get a little messy as well. Try to scrape as much of that chocolate out as possible. Put it wherever, because I've got another technique of how we're going to spread that chocolate all over those delicious bars. So here we go. We're going to scrape, scrape, and as you can tell, I'm kind of getting a little frustrated here. Yep, we are done with that. I then use this hot water and use it to wash the chocolate and the bowl with all the ingredients that I mixed up with. So depending on how much chocolate I have left from the bars and how much I double it or triple the recipe, I just use whatever chocolate chips I have and I just kind of melt them and just tip the pan upside down if I don't have enough of my spatula to spread across the bars. So here we go. We're going to take this container of bars now and just put it in the refrigerator, probably for about 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes I forget about them, and then pull them out. I use a Pampered Chef spatula, the little small one. It seems to be sharp enough to get right through the bars. So I'm going to cut these up, and there we go. Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging because even though I spread them equally, there are definitely some thicker spots within the pan, but it's a good workout for my arms, and sometimes they need that extra strength from these bars, even though there's going to be a ton of protein in here. I believe the whey protein I use has about 20 to 24 grams of protein per serving, and like I said, I used 2 entire cups. You can, if you have any questions on how to break up the nutrients on this, you can go to MyFitnessPal, put the ingredients in and how much you use, and then it's cool because it will break down everything for you in your macro ingredients. Oh, and my favorite part, scooping this out, and look at the density of that. That is, or dense, it's so dense, it's delicious, and I cannot wait. I like to store them in a Tupperware container, and I usually use parchment paper to layer them so they don't stick. Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Please like the video, subscribe, and thanks for joining us in homesteading for the health of it.